As a content creator with a full-time job, the hardest part isn't coming up with ideas or having the right gear. It's actually staying consistent. So in this video, I will share with you my exact system that I use to keep posting consistently while still working a 9-to-5 job. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sarnish, a data analyst creating content on the side to build time and financial freedom. Before diving into content creation, the first thing you need to do is commit to a sustainable upload frequency. You may have heard other creators say quality over quantity if you're just starting out. Now there is truth to that, but if you're going to post every day and just burn out in 2 weeks, it's not going to help you. So the first thing you need to do is commit to a sustainable upload frequency. For YouTube, I'd say upload at least 1 video per week. And for short form content like Instagram or TikTok, I'd say upload at least 3 posts per week. Do this for 2 or 3 weeks and then review. If you feel like it's too much, just scale down the number of posts per week. But if you think you can do more, scale it up. The goal here is consistency. Another reason why content creators lose consistency is because they think of content creation as one big task. They may go, okay, today I'm going to film, edit and upload on the same day. Now, if you have a full-time job, this is very unlikely. So instead, you should break it down into smaller steps so that you make progress in smaller chunks rather than thinking of it as one big task. Here's how I break down my content creation process. I start with generating ideas, writing the script and shortlisting it, filming it, editing, and finally uploading it. So this way, I focus on each step rather than getting overwhelmed by thinking it's one big task. And another advantage of breaking it down to small steps is that you can actually batch similar tasks together. For example, let's say you are going to post 3 reels per week. You can actually brainstorm ideas for all 3 reels in one sitting and script for all 3 reels in one sitting. And now that you have the script for all 3, you can actually even record everything in one sitting rather than splitting it to 3 days, which would just take a longer time. So you've broken down your content creation process into smaller tasks. Now it's just a matter of execution. And this is where time blocking your week comes into play. There is a law called Parkinson's Law which states that work expands to fill out the time you allocate for it. What this actually means is that if you assign a time slot for a task, you are very likely to finish that task in that given time slot. But if you don't assign any time, then you are very likely to procrastinate and drag out this task. So for example, let's say you can edit a reel in 1 hour. If you don't assign this 1 hour time slot on a calendar where you can see, you're very likely to actually procrastinate and drag out this task to maybe 2 or 3 days. And for someone with a day job, time is a very limited resource. So what would end up happening is maybe either you miss your upload schedule or you end up rushing your video on upload day and it may not turn out the way you want it to be. So time blocking your week on a calendar is very important. I personally use Notion calendar to do this, but you can use any calendar, Google Calendar or even a paper planner, it doesn't matter. The key here is to be able to see your time slots that you've assigned for each task on a calendar. Here's an example schedule you can use for a weekly upload. Here's a recap. First, you want to pick a sustainable upload frequency, something you can commit to without getting burned out. Then you want to break down your content creation process into smaller steps. So this way, you focus on one step at a time and you can batch the same tasks of multiple videos in one sitting. This will save you a lot of time and energy. Then you want to time block your week to perform all these tasks and get the work done. This way you upload on time without having to rush the video. If you follow this system, you will upload consistently even if you have a day job. If you want to avoid common beginner content creator pitfalls, you can watch this video on my 3 mistakes that I made as a new content creator. That's all for this video. Catch you on the next one. Peace.